Hello, 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 my collectors, my loves, my angels. How are you? How are you? How are you? Happy birthday to my Aries. Those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, congratulations for those of you celebrating something special in your lives. And good well wishes for those of you feeling a little under the weather, feeling a little down, feeling a little blue. So we are going to tap into an energy today. I feel like there is something that's unspoken between you and the person you're not really in contact with, or if you are in contact, it's limited contact with them. Something that they probably held back from you, something they want you to know that they feel like they maybe can't tell you face to face, or they wish they would have said to you. So I want to tap into what it was and what's going on with them now and where things look for you moving forward, okay? So before we do so, I want to go ahead and call on Michael the Archangel. Ask that you protect my space, you protect my family, my friends, the collective, myself, as we go on our spiritual journey, as we go on our spiritual walk, from anyone who wishes any negativity, wants to interfere with it, or distract us from where we need to be focused. I do ask my guardian angels, my spirit guides, my ancestors that watch over me, who channel through me, continue to do so. Allow me to see the unseen, hear the unheard, and give voice or reasons for those who didn't feel like they could be vulnerable, that didn't feel safe to speak on their emotions. And then collective, here we are. As I was doing this, I had two cards coming right out as I was shuffling. And like I said, we are tapping into something someone wished they would have said, wished they would have spoken, but they didn't, either out of fear or ego or pride or whatever the situation was. The first card that came out, I was afraid that you would reject me if I shared my feelings too soon or to you. So this is somebody who definitely, just like I said, I felt the energy wise, someone who definitely held back how much they really love you, how much they care, what they really think of you, the intensity of their feelings and emotions. You see, they weren't sure if the feelings were mutual. They weren't sure how you felt. But it's interesting though, collective, because as a chosen, anointed, collective, divine, feminine, healer, light worker, whatever you consider yourself to be, I know that we speak truth, we speak honesty, and we show love. So this person felt that you would have rejected them had they shared their feelings to you. But I feel that you would have embraced that, because I don't feel like you weren't showing them feelings and emotions. I'm sure that you showed it because that's what you are, love and light. And I'm sure you handled them with love and light. But this person is still saying that they were just afraid. They didn't know. Maybe they felt like you weren't ready for that. Maybe their feelings were so intense in what they really wanted. And maybe they felt like where you were in that space in your time in your life and that connection, that maybe it was just too soon, or maybe you weren't ready. The second thing that came out is we're living two separate lives. This could have been your polar opposite. This could have been a twin flame, higher level soulmate at best. They felt like you guys really didn't have much in common except for maybe the emotions, or maybe you didn't grow up like they grew up, or maybe they experienced more than you. You guys could have had different cultures, different beliefs, different ethnicity. Could have been good girl, bad boy, different race. Whatever it was, they felt like the differences between you guys is what could have made the relationship possibly not work. And so when I go back to, I was afraid that you would reject me if I shared my feelings. Maybe, oftentimes what we feel, the rejection, what we feel, is not really what the other person is showing you, but what you're projecting onto them. Sorry. So maybe perhaps that they were projecting onto you, that they were the ones who really thought that the differences between you guys would have kept the relationship from working. First and foremost, when I say that, and so they're feeling, and so really, it's not that you wouldn't have rejected them. I feel like they're overthinking of the differences, them allowing that to get in their head, and maybe even running it past one or two other people, and them agreeing or, supporting what they were already thinking, their fear. They self sabotage something. Bottom of the deck, I push you away because I do not want the responsibility. So I push you away. So they were afraid you would reject them if they told you how they felt. And then we went to, you guys are living separate lives, to I push you away because I don't want the responsibility. This is somebody who was confused. They were confused. They were confused by their own feelings, what they felt. This is somebody that was too much in their head. This was too much logic and no emotions in here. They didn't think you would accept how they feel. They thought you guys were different. And they didn't want responsibility. They didn't want responsibility of what? Of doing the work. They didn't want responsibility of maybe this person, because you guys were so different, maybe they felt like you were going to try to change them, or maybe they felt like they needed to make some changes in their life in order to be the man that they felt that you, or woman that they felt that you needed. And they were overthinking that. Can I be this person? Because if I can't be this person, the collective may reject me, they may leave me. And it was their fears. It's all this head cerebral thinking and these emotions, all this overthinking. They put too much. They thought themselves right out of a connection so far, what I'm seeing on here. They let their mind run away with them. I feel like they brought problems into this relationship from too much overthinking. So what's going on with this person now? This is somebody who needs to prepare their heart. This is why they overthought it. This is why they didn't tell you, right? Because this is somebody who was in a connection where, they got hurt. Someone did something, lied, cheated, deceived them in some type of way, but somebody hurt them. And this was a person who didn't heal that. And that's the whole problem. They didn't want the responsibility. They didn't want to go through it a second time. They needed to build trust. And I feel like, collective, you were doing things like they really had no reason not to trust you, but they were still hurting. This came out from the last. So I want to shuffle it. And if it's meant to come back out, it'll come back out. But I want to just take it. Yeah, this is too much overthinking in this situation. It really was. We're going to see what else comes out. And I want to know, I want to get my emotional part. Like, what is it that what feelings did they have that they didn't express with you? And so, like, oh, thank you. What is this, Spirit Guide? To avoid it, yet it goes to you. This is the thing. They got in their head to the point of them overthinking this whole dynamic, this whole connection, this whole relationship, even if you can call it that at best, okay? But whatever connection you guys had, they were so in their head of thinking that at some point you were going to reject them because you were too different, if they couldn't be who you needed to be, if they fell into their old patterns or old ways, if they knew that they didn't trust, I feel like they didn't trust themselves. And this is somebody who they started ghosting you. The more they looked at this, the more they thought about this, the more they started avoiding you. The intensity of the emotions were too much. They couldn't take it. This person started hiding out, and you know what? I don't even feel like they were hiding out because they were just entertaining somebody else, although some were, okay. But I think that there was really a point in this connection where they were just hiding out. Like, you call and say, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm busy. They were busy. They're sitting there in the living room, smoking weed, drinking beer, hanging with their friends, watching TV, or just sitting there scratching their ass, whatever they were doing. They were just avoiding you because they were trying to not spend as much time with you, because the more time they spent with you, the more intense the feelings came, the more they wanted you around. They wanted you there, and this person was conflicted in their mind. Do I trust love again? Do I trust to give my heart? Like, am I safe to do it? And it could have been somebody around them as well that was jealous of this connection, jealous of the feelings that this person had for you, or they could have had some jealousy of you. The fact that you take chances, you take risks, you speak your mind, you speak your emotions, you're not afraid to say, this is how I feel, I love you, I want to be with you, I see a future with you. You encourage this person, you spoke on your emotions, and it could have been jealous of the fact that you're able to do that. And it could have known that you've experienced some bad things or some unhealthy relationships, or 9/19 when I say that, you could have come from something where you felt like you weren't appreciated or valued, okay? And now you're here with a heart still open, not a heart that's turned to stone, still loving, still giving, still happy, still walking in light and love. Like I said, it's not that you didn't show this person that. So really, I felt like it was them, their projection, that you would reject them. They thought this in their head, and they had some silly Billy goat outside of them confirming what they felt. And once they had that confirmation, well, you can forget. And nothing you could have said or done would have changed this person's mind at that point, because some silly Billy Goat confirmed, yeah, man, that's a catch right there. She's a good one. You got to get your shit together. You never had one. It's like somebody convinced them that they weren't worthy of the love that you had to give. Listen, see? Thank you. Listen, what Spirit's got your back, Spirit was guiding them to you. Just somebody who prayed, wanted something different, been through a lot, seen a lot. They wanted just some peace in their life, and they wanted somebody who could bring them some peace, somebody they can love, all right? They've done a lot of things in their previous relationships, but Spirit was saying, look, I forgive you. I heard your prayers. I heard your requests. I forgive the things you've done in the past, and I'm sending you somebody to love you in light and love. I'm letting you have peace. I'm releasing you and giving you a second chance at life. All you have to do is let go of that old self. Let go of that past. This is a second chance for you, all right? I'm giving you a love that lasts. Listen, whatever you went through with that previous relationship, it's said, it's done. You both made mistakes. You've outgrown each other, It's time to release that. And now I'm sending you someone, a love that's meant to last. Somebody, a timeless, real, deep affection. Somebody that's going to support you, grow old with you, go that walk of life with you. Somebody that's going to love you with clear mind, clear heart. And Spirit felt like they made it clear to this person. And I felt like when you met this person, they felt the intensity of the emotions. And the truth is, they know you were the real deal. They knew it. They just couldn't get out their damn head about it. You see, confirmation. They kept contemplating. They kept thinking over and over and over again. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if I leave this situation and then it doesn't work out between me and the collective? Or what if I keep the same bad habits I had? And what if I give my all and I put my heart into it and then they let me down? It's like they couldn't get out of their damn head. Exactly what I'm telling you. This is somebody that did too much overthinking. Too much. I feel like they self-sabotage. Look, now they're sitting here with egg on their face. Yeah, see, I knew it. I could just tell it how they were in their head. This person self-sabotaged something. So you know what they did? They ran you away. It's just like it said. I pushed you away. I pushed you away because I do not want the responsibility. They didn't want to feel the love. They didn't want to open their heart. That's responsibility. The responsibility wasn't on paying your bills, collector, because I know you're independent. You did that yourself. The responsibility was on them just showing up authentically themselves. And this is somebody that's now wearing a mask, was wearing a mask, and they don't want to take the mask off to let you see who they truly are. Gentle, nurturing, caring. Now they feel foolish because you know what? They manifested the very thing that they feared when they overthought this whole relationship. They didn't want to tell you how they felt because they thought, you would reject them. They felt like you guys were too different. So what did they do? They overthought this, and them not realizing you manifest your thoughts. The words that come out of your mouth, what you think is what you bring into you. This person kept thinking, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. We're too different. They're going to leave me. I'm not good enough. And this, that, whatever. And they thought it to the point that they manifest that ending. They thought it was going to be an ending, and they manifested the very thing that they were afraid of happening. The damn ending. And now they're feeling like a fool because they realized well, damn, if it was going to end, I might as well have, at least if I were giving to this relationship, if I was being honest and sharing my soul, my heart, and putting time and energy into it, at least at that point, it was a 50-50 chance that it would work. It would last. But the fact that they sabotaged it, well, hell, that's 100% chance it's not going to work right there because you just killed any possibility of it even growing. You didn't even give it a try. You didn't even give it a chance. Now that they're taking the time to look within, now that they're thinking back, now that they're feeling foolish, they're realizing, they're being honest with themselves, and they're realizing that now I have self-sabotaged this relationship. I didn't give it a chance. I didn't give it a fair shake. And I lost the collective. I'm missing the collective. I want the collective. I need the collective. And I wasn't honest with myself, and I wasn't honest with other people. I act like, the collective didn't mean as much to me as they really did. I act like I wasn't in love when I really was. I think about the collective all day, all night, and now they want you back. Now they're hoping to manifest you back the same way they manifested this ending by thinking it wasn't going to work, overthinking it, getting in their head, insecurities and fears. Now they're hoping if I'm thinking good thoughts, if I'm thinking I want it back, if I'm thinking reunion, if I'm putting out reunion, if I'm praying for reunion again, God brought it to me once, maybe God can bring it back again. We can have a second chance. We can have a fresh start. Now, but the question is, even if they had a second opportunity, nothing on my board right now is showing me that they're not still in their head about it. 15-15, because did they do the work? Listen, you're being protected at this point. Spirit guides are protecting you, and they're lighting the way in which you should go at this moment. Okay. Oh, these came in. Thank you. Yeah. They're lighting the way. Not only, because I didn't even see these fly over there, but not only are they lighting the path that you should take, they're saying you don't need to feel guilty. You hold no guilt at all or responsibility for this person now being in the place of looking like they're a fool, of getting caught doing whatever they were doing, overthinking, killing, sabotaging this relationship. You hold no guilt because you did what you were meant to do. So don't stress yourself. Don't be in your feelings. Don't have any anxiety. Don't feel remorseful about having to walk away from a situation where somebody couldn't give you the love that you deserve. And Spirit is pushing you forward to a dynamic where you will have a healthy relationship. Your next go around will be healthy. You'll be with somebody who's not stressed out, who's not ashamed, and who's not afraid. But I want you to know that this person that's thinking about you, they're getting tarot readings on you, looking at you, researching you, trying to find out what's going on with you, asking people, looking at your social media, are you seeing somebody else? What are you doing? And that's because this person now wants to manifest you. They want to manifest you. Listen. What else for my collective? They don't want to fight with you anymore. Look, they want to come in. They want to say, I'm sorry. I didn't trust you, but now I realize, and I should have, because you never gave me a reason not to. Maybe they didn't trust themselves. They understand that the first time in this relationship, it was one-sided, but this is somebody saying that now I want to give. I want to communicate. I want to tell you how I feel. I want to put in the energy. I want to open up to you. I trust to open up to you. I know that you now wouldn't do anything to hurt me. But they can't tell you these things right now because you're in no contact with them. You either blocked them, you've moved, you've changed your number, you separated, you told them don't reach out to me anymore. I don't have anything to say to you. I don't like what you did. I don't like how you treated me. All they could do is really look at whatever they have stored in their phone that reminds them of you. That's all they can really do at this point. And with this being on the fence, not why I say a fix. They want to fix the relationship with you. That's probably why I said fix. But they want to fix the relationship with you. So now, this person who used to go out there and always wanted these random hookups, these fly by the nights, these third parties and everything, it's like some of these women they're turning down. Or if you're a person who's a woman, they're now starting to, and I'm not saying that they're not getting their jolly wet. I'm just saying that they're coming out of, that's all I want. They want more now. And it's a possibility that they hooked up with somebody, caught a little something down there, and that's making them be like, whoa, okay, I got to stop living life like this, Maybe they caught something they were able to get rid of. And they're like, okay, I can't be out here free nilly-willy on like this because, I need these, this is not working. Not only that, but they want somebody that's emotional. Like they're tired of always having their heart broken, and they want to be able to give their heart to someone. They want to get closure. They want to move on, all right? And they're worried, though. They're worried because they feel like you moved on from them because they broke your heart, and that's breaking their heart, They realize now that you came to them because of their broken heart to help them heal that. They realize now you were always a soulmate, and that's why they're reminiscing and thinking about you, because they're feeling lonely. They're feeling lonely right now, collective. This person who really got in their head and overthought this whole thing to the point that they sabotaged the whole freaking thing. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, when do we start to trust our feelings? When do we trust our gut? Like, when do we trust our own intuition? When do we stop allowing other people make decisions of what we should do with our heart? What is there, collective? You're ascending. You're moving on. This person, may be wanting to learn from you, learn how to ascend, but you're definitely moving on to a new phase. But you're going to be shocked by something that's going to come. Somebody might decide to change and may decide to come forward to you. This person that's been overthinking may come to you and surprise you. And maybe they're ascending, maybe they're growing, maybe they're transforming, okay? But no. They're coming towards you. They're coming towards you, but they're coming up through the hookup with you. They're thinking about the sex, the lust, the third party. They're still involved with third parties. They may find out some shocking news about somebody that they have been hooking up with, though. That's a possibility as well. Yeah. They still think about you. They still want to hook up with you. They're still interested in you. They want to know how you feel about them. They want to take you out on a date. This person's still thinking about the lust, though. When they're reminiscing about the lust. Yeah, look. Yeah. You're making healthy choices now. You're making healthy choices, and you put an end to the situation. So yeah, it's given a little too late. It's given that they had an opportunity. They overthought it. They talked themselves out of it to the point where they sabotaged it. They want to come in. They avoided you. They listened to possibly somebody else, but now that they've gone within, they're realizing they really had no reason not to take a chance on you, but they didn't. All right. You moved on. Spirit is saying, don't feel guilty about moving on. You did what you had to do. This wasn't a healthy connection with you, for you. They're spying, peeping, want to know what you're up to, want to talk to you. Still having some hookups, but just not as many. Some of them they turning down. They do know that they broke your heart. You've gone on. Now they realize who you are. They want to come back. They're thinking about you. You're ascending, you're evolving, you're growing. This person now wants to come after seeing how far you're getting ahead of them, how you're ascending and growing in. They want to come in and say something to you. All right, try to change your mind about leaving them, or change your mind into maybe giving them a second chance. But they're still thinking lustfully. They're still thinking with the wrong parts. It's because they still have passion for you. And I feel like they want to know if you still have passion for them. Jeez whiz, I thought this was going to take a better turn, but it did not. It did not. It did not. They must be at the beginning of this ascension, because they're still thinking with their third leg here. They want to take you out on a date, but they're still hooking up with other people, okay? You put an end to this, but they would like to have a new beginning with you. What are the angels saying from my collective? What are the angels saying? Look, you're going to be abundant. You're receiving abundance for doing the work because you're aligned. The universe is providing you with a lot of things. You're manifesting a lot of things because of your recovery. How you recover from the situation, how you went in, how you healed from the situation that this person put you in. Anything else? Look for signs. Continue to look for signs, because you have angels all the way around you giving signs as to where you need to go. And somebody's looking for a sign themselves, the person thinking about you, because they want to know if this is going to have a peaceful resolution. If they're going to be able to get it back, if they're going to be able to take a chance. So definitely, if this person comes back to you looking for a peaceful resolution, all right, look for signs, because your angels, your spirit guides are around you. Oh, hold up, what was there? Your angels are saying, look for the sign, because there's something better for you out there. So you may have to make a choice. You may have to make a choice. This person wants to come and offer you something. This person's coming in very lustful, thinking about that, all right? You may have to choose between continuing to let this be an end to this situation, because they are still passionate, are still in that little phase, still hooking up with other people, or are you going to make a healthy choice and go towards something different? So that's going to depend on you. There definitely may still be, chemistry between the two of you guys. So, when you get there, if you're stuck with what route to take or what I need to do, because you're there, because of the chemistry that's still there, you're realizing that I may still have a little something for this person. Think about where you've been and think about, is this where you want to go? Because this person hasn't done the healing yet, okay? So look to your spirit guides. Use a discernment always. And remember, we're all here, our collective, as a group. Together we stand, together we rise. You weren't sure? Throw it in a comment. Let the collective decide for you. Let the collective help you decide. On this channel, we always bring the truth. Okay? Thank you. Have a wonderful day.